Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Welcome to 2020 Final Guys!
Woo!
Not dead.
I'm Jack.
Lord knows. I almost drank
Jack
myself to
Torrance.
death on
Wait.
Christmas.
It's Hunter
Oh,
Shea
it's
and
me.
Jason. Hello, fellas. How you doing?
Not dead, like I said. So I'm pretty
Feels like it's been a year since we did this fucking show.
We're back, and this is a big show because everybody wants to look towards the new year, so we're going to start things by looking backwards at our favorite horror movies of 2019. So we're going to kind of dive right in. I think the way we'll do this is just go around in a circle, and each person goes, and exactly. We'll talk about it, and we can straddle the line between, is this what we thought were the best horror movies, or are these our favorites? And we can go through all the honorable mentions and things like that. So before we get started, are there words for the drinking game?
Yes, there are, Jack. They just came in here from New Zealand or wherever Sharon is.
We've remembered once.
All right, everybody. If we say these particular words, you got to start drinking. What you drink, I don't care. Smoke peyote if you want. If Jack says ready, sleep, or harpoon, do whatever. If I say dead, satanic, or grass, ain't no shot I'm saying that other than in this moment. Have a drink. If Jason says play, lighthouse, or cut, oh, Jesus, cut, low-hanging fruit. And if either of us say crawl, us, and weaving. And if you drink enough, you'll be weaving too.
Well, excellent. All right. Well, thanks for the drinking words, and cheers, everybody. All right, let's get to it. So, who wants to go first? Now, the disadvantage of going last is somebody's always going to be beating you to one of these movies, but I'll take the high road and go last since I'm driving tonight. So, who wants to go first?
It's about time you took the high road. Hey, and if for one time, me and you have seen as many movies as Jason on our list.
Oh, man. Let me just start by saying this. Between the last time we did a show and this, I watched so many movies. And I'm actually angry at the horror people for putting out movies so late in the year. Like,
that's true.
We picked movies like The Shed because there was nothing out there. And I watched like a bunch of movies that didn't make my list that after we're done here, I'm going to suggest that we use as movies for the next couple of weeks. Like, so right. I don't know about you guys, but did you catch up on flicks over the break?
I was sick, so yeah. I was like, all right, I got a lot to watch.
I snuck a few in, none that made my list.
I think one day I watched 6 movies, so
wow,
it was a productive day.
There's nothing more frustrating. You know, I was like, you're surfing around, and then you see a movie that a couple of people, like somebody from Shockwaves, mentioned on their best of show or something. Like, oh, then you look into it, and there's a lot of reviews for it. So you check that one off for our homework, and then it doesn't make your list. You're like, son of a! I just
what a waste. Okay, I'll go first. I don't mind.
Go for it.
All right, we're going from 13 on down, right?
Yeah, we do 13 because 13 is the horror number.
All right. I don't think either of you have this on your list. So my number 13 is a little movie called Sweetheart. Did you guys see this on Netflix?
I saw it on Netflix. Didn't make my list, but I thought it was fun.
It's Creature from the Black Lagoon, except it's Creature around the Black Island. It's a girl washes up on shore. There's obviously been a boat wreck somewhere. She's on this beautiful desert island with a friend of hers who was dead before you know it. And she's trying to do her best to survive out there. And little does she know, there is a creature in the water that also comes up on land at night, looking to eat anything that's made of flesh, live or dead. What changed this movie for me? There's a scene where she sees a plane going overhead, and she gets the flare gun and she shoots it up into the air. And as it's coming back down to the horizon, you just see the outline of this enormous monster in the water in the distance. And I was like, oh, that was such a great scene. Yeah,
Damn.
the special effects, look, they're not really that good. But
Yeah.
I didn't care. I love anything creature from the water thing. So
Good Netflix movie. No
Great Netflix
problem
movie.
with you. Yeah, like surprising, and the beauty of it is it's on Netflix.
yeah. And
Damn, never even heard of
stupid
this.
name. Absolutely stupid name.
Yes,
for a horror.
terrible name.
What are you going to do?
All right, Jason.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say this list was pretty difficult for me to put together because my top 5 I thought were just all amazing films that I freaking loved. And then the next 8 most of them were fairly interchangeable, particularly like the bottom 5. I was just adding and subtracting stuff constantly, and I was just like, there was 5 movies I loved, and then there was 5 movies I thought were pretty good and I enjoyed, and then a lot of stuff that was good. It was okay.
Yeah, that's how 13 goes.
So
right?
It was very different. Like last year, I was having trouble getting everything I loved on the list. So, it wasn't like this was the worst year ever. They got a lot of stuff in at the end that kind of made my list better, but I struggled concocting 13 movies that I really, really wanted on here. So there were a lot I left off that could be. And
Are these all SBIG
So-
like movie ad placements so people watch that?
Yes, exactly. Speaking of Disco Godfather, isn't it?
Yeah, baby.
So my number 13 ended up being Zombieland
All
Double
right.
Tap. It was one I didn't think was going to be on my list, but as I was going through everything, I was like, you know what? I had a hell of a lot of fun with this. I was not looking forward to it because I thought the first trailers were not great, but it sold me. The humor worked. It's a zombie movie. I couldn't give a shit about zombies. And, I ended up being pretty happy with
I
it.
agree.
I wholeheartedly agree. I would also agree with you as far as the difficulty of making this list. I feel like, the first 5 or 6 movies, even maybe the first 8 movies after I caught some other ones and put them in, I was like, no doubt. But then maybe like after that, especially like the final 3 and the 13, I changed it a bunch of times, including like a little bit before we logged on. Because I was like, I don't know which movies I like more than others. Do I like this one because it was like technically a better movie than this other one? But wait, I'm thinking about this one more, or I'd rewatch this one more. So finally, I came to some conclusions, and I found peace with what I have. But really,
I found peace.
well, because there's a couple of movies I left off that I'm like, I probably like better than some of the stuff that I put on the list.
Like crafting the Constitution.
Well, I really care about this.
It's important work.
Oh,
Hunter.
I took this the wrong way.
So really, like the 11 through 13, you could probably change the order of, but here they are. I threw at number 13, Us, the Jordan Peele movie, and this was not on my list until like recently, because I enjoyed this movie in the theater. I got a kick out of it. Then we kind of talked about it, and the more I thought about it, I like the first 2/3 of this movie a lot, and the ending kind of thudded for me. We talked about it, and we really pointed out that it didn't stand up to scrutiny very well. But I do love what it did for the horror genre. I think Jordan Peele's got a lot to offer, and I loved how normies and just this was reaching a wide audience. So a quality horror movie that's reaching a lot of people and helping the genre. And there's some really great parts in this movie. So this was the one that, with some of the other ones that didn't make the list, I just kind of remember when I saw this in the theater and I walked out and I was like, oh, that was pretty fun. So Us made the list.
You know what? Good for you for putting this 13 and defying the Jordan Peele Fillet-a-thon. Because
it's so overrated.
The man has put out one good movie and one good looking movie. Ari Aster's already got him beat. So, but nobody talks about him the same way. I put Us at number 12.
There you
So
go.
I didn't know, it wasn't on my list at all at one point. I was the same as you. And I was going through it. I was like, you know what? I have to put it on there because it was a well-made movie. It did have some really funny moments in there for me. But it's one of those ones, once I pulled that story, it fell apart so fast and so hard. I was like, that's what bugged me about the whole thing. But to look at, fun movie. So that's why it gets my number 12 spot.
Yeah, I just couldn't get past the writing.
Oh.
I just couldn't get past it. So I kept thinking, oh, maybe 12 or 13. And I was like, nope. I spent an hour shitting on that movie on this show. I cannot put it on my list. So instead, my number 12 was The Wind, which I don't know if either one of you
saw it, and it was on my, because I had potential, like, that would be like an honorable mention for me, because I liked it a lot.
I initially thought it would be, but, like I said, I interchanged my list so freaking much that it ended up being one of those that I thought about for a while afterwards, so I figured, what the hell, I need to get it on here. And I did not get to see her other movie, The Nightingale, which everybody was saying is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, so this is the Babadook person?
Yeah.
Oh, so they did The Wind. That makes me more interested in seeing The Wind. I want to see it, I just haven't gotten around to it.
Unless I'm mixing up women directors because I'm a misogynist, I'm pretty sure it's the same one.
I'm going to have to check that. I'll find out.
So The Wind, it's worth a watch.
Excellent. Oh, is it me? Wow,
it's you.
Fast.
Yep.
Okay, here's where there are some movies I watched based on reviews and buzz that I watched, and I was like, how the hell did that make somebody's top 10 movie or even number 1 movie? There was a lot of movies I felt were movie critic movies and not movie fan movies that didn't make it. Mm-hmm. And I like my share of artsy and weird movies, and I hate my share of those kinds of movies. There was one I saw, though, that I thought I was going to hate, and I ended up liking it, and it stuck with me. And I bet it's nowhere near your guys' lists, but maybe it is. I don't know. It's called In Fabric, and it's this.
Oh,
really? Is that worth watching? Because I saw the Coming Attraction. I'm like, no way.
It is worth watching because it's
haunted coat.
It's a haunted dress. And it looks like an old Italian movie. All the reviews of it will say, "Oh, it's like a giallo movie." But what it is, it's like Suspiria with a sense of humor. It's like the guys from Shaun of the Dead made a 60s Italian horror movie with a sprinkle of Hammer aesthetic in it. So it's kind of got two halves, and the first half is better than the second half. But there's this department store with these kind of like witchy-like people that run it, who are a bunch of freaks. And anytime they're on screen, it's awesome. There's some bizarre gore stuff that goes on. There's a lot of weird stuff. The big blonde chick from Game of Thrones is briefly in it.
Brienne?
Yeah.
Tarth?
Yeah. And I watched it, and it's one of those ones that stuck with me. And I'm telling the main woman from the department store it's like the witch from The Witches and the kid catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang had a daughter. And
oh God, you would never get that from the Coming Attraction. The Coming Attraction just looked like people who make dresses.
And it's going to be one of those.
Would see this?
I think it's one of those movies that some people are going to love and some people are going to hate. I watched it. I thought I was going to hate it. And I ended up getting a kick out of it. And then, like, when I was looking through other movies to put on the list, I was like, I keep thinking about this movie. I don't know if I'd ever really watch it again, or maybe I'd watch it like over your house after Monster Men or something. Right. But I definitely enjoyed it. So you may watch it and be like, you're nuts, dude. But I enjoyed it.
I like weird stuff.
I was actually going to try to sneak it in this weekend, and then I was reading about it. I'm like, I'm not in the mood.
Is it long?
I didn't feel like it was.
It looks long.
There's a bunch of weirdos in this movie. There's these two guys who are kind of like
a bunch of weirdos watching us right now.
There's like these guys they're like almost like Office Space guys, but like creepier. They're like, the guys who interview everybody in Office Space, they call people in. There's a kind of guys like that, but they're really creepy and weird. So worth a look.
Cool. All right.
My turn?
My turn.
No, your turn.
Number 11 for me was Piercing. Have you guys heard of this one?
I didn't get around to I've heard of it. I didn't get around.
No.
So this is a movie about a guy who's a husband, and he's got a baby child, and he decides one day he's going to kill a hooker.
Oh.
They don't tell you why he decides this. He's a guy who like measures everything out. It begins with a baby crying in the crib, and he's holding an ice pick right to its head. And you think he's going to kill his own child. This is,
as you do.
I mean, look, my kid had colic. I thought of killing myself many times. It's cool looking because all of the cities, the shots of the city, they're all models.
So it's Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, and everybody has these elaborate cord phones that they use, so there's no sense of time and place whatsoever. It's got this real dreamy quality to it, and it's a two-person movie. It's the guy who spends the first day chloroforming himself and writing it down to see how much chloroform would take to knock you out for how long, and then he orders his hooker, Mia Wasikowska. I hope I said that right. And she's a fucking mental case. So all his plans of get normal hooker, do this, kill her, she's crazy. So he says he insults her when she's doing something sexual by a look, and she immediately stabs herself in the thigh a dozen times like a crazy cutter, and it goes from there. And it's like a David Lynch, David Cronenberg kind of love child movie. It's so weird, but I loved it. And they used the music from Tenebrae in it, and at the very end credits. I love that theme song, so big thumbs up on that one.
Cool.
Where was that? Netflix? Is that
no, I got it on Prime. It was like $4. Well worth it.
Okay. I can't believe how many you guys have mentioned already I haven't seen. It's kind of pissing me off. I watch so many goddamn movies every year.
Yeah, but you watch all shit. We wait till the good stuff comes out.
Apparently. Damn it. All right, so my number 11 was The Hole in the Ground, which was actually one of the first horror movies I watched this year. Is it Irish? Is that right?
It is.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a giant sinkhole forms in the woods behind the cabin, and a woman's son disappears and then comes back all weird from the sinkhole, and things get crazy from there. I think it was right in the middle of me watching just crap after crap after crap of new stuff, and this hit me, and I just enjoyed it. And it's actually one I've been wanting to revisit because I guess it's been about a year now. Yeah. So definitely worth a watch, and it's on Prime now for free. So if anybody hasn't seen it, definitely.
It was my 13 till I saw Sweetheart.
Excellent. Okay. Well, my number 11 is Zombieland Double Tap.
Oh.
And I struggled as to where to put this, or to even just...
What a reaction.
Why did we both make the same sound?
We've been doing this too long. The show's over.
I struggled where to put this, or to just mention it and put something else on the list, because it was like, everybody knows about this movie, but Jason, like what you said, I just kept thinking about it. I had such a blast with it. And I just keep thinking about that doppelganger scene. So... it's like, this is going to be one of those movies that the second it's like on Netflix or whatever, I'm going to watch it, and it'll be a repeat viewing. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Especially this year, where it was such a, mediocre, like there's good movies, but not a lot of great movies. This stood out as a good time in the theater. So
yeah,
Double Tap.
I dug it. I might be talking about it soon.
Excellent.
All right, we're about to crack the top 10.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Go for it.
My number 10 is Satanic Panic.
Ooh, good one.
I had a total panic watching this movie, man. This was like the funniest horror movie I've seen in a while, and came totally out of the blue. It's about a pizza delivery girl who goes to deliver pizza and gets mixed up with this weird cult that's about to do a sacrifice for the night. It's got Rebecca Romijn as the suburban mom cult leader. She is phenomenal. Probably
awesome.
The best thing she's ever done. For me, might be.
This and Mystique in the X-Men.
Exactly. This is the best thing she's ever done without being blue.
Yeah.
What was the main character's name again? Oh,
God, I can't remember her name. I have her picture staring at me right now.
It was like Becky or something. Yeah. I mean, it was a running gag through the movie. And
I keep talking about her big boobs. Everyone's commenting on her boobs. And it's Satanic... got Ruby.
Oh, God.
Oh, go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say, Satanic Panic came on and off my list, and it didn't make my list, but I really liked it a lot. And so it's a total honorable mention for me. And it easily could have been on here because, to be honest, I'll watch Satanic Panic again before I watch In Fabric again.
Right.
But I think In Fabric was like stood out more as a piece of something different. I don't know.
So usually for like the later movies, I pick the ones that like I'll watch. I know I'll watch over and over again because I know that's how much I love them. So this is one. Give me Satanic Cults anytime. And this is a good year for cults, by the way.
Satanic Panic was one of the ones I moved up and down and off and on, and I was like, God damn it.
Jerry O'Connell.
Oh, Jerry O'Connell was great. And
yeah, he was amazing. All right, so my number 10, is that where we are?
Number 10
was Crawl.
Yeah!
A movie that is just dumb and fun and a blast to watch. It's equal parts ridiculous and intense. It was a movie I did not want to watch because the freaking trailers pissed me off. And I'm glad I ended up getting around to it, although I'm glad I didn't see it in the theater because I would have been even more pissed off. But it's a fun movie, man. It's just one of those that if you think, you know what, this just looks dumb, you're correct, it is. But you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And the alligators are the most aggressive, gigantic freaking alligators you've ever seen in your life. And it's a blast.
This is the biggest miss we've ever done for a movie that came out in the movies, by the way. And I wanted to see it.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's on your list.
My anti-trailer crap took over.
You know what? It was fun in the movies too because it was so big. Like the alligators were even bigger in the movies, and you felt like you were drowning.
Is that what happens when the screen's bigger? Things on it are bigger? That's weird.
It's bananas. I don't know how this works. It's something with the aspect ratio.
You definitely went to college.
My number 10 is also Crawl.
Yo!
I had a good time with this too.
minds.
You kind of said it all already. I had a blast. I don't think I missed anything by seeing it on TV rather than the theater, but yeah, it was such a surprise because it was way bigger, way better than I thought it was going to be, that the conversation we would have had if we came half the time we go see something in the theater, we come back like, what the hell did we just do that for? Mm-hmm. And this was like one of the few times where it turned out better. So Crawl comes in. If this was a top 10 list, it would have made the list.
All right.
Yes, sir.
My number 9 is a movie that we heard about, Zombieland 2, Double Tap.
There you go.
I was sick of zombie movies, but Zombieland is on in this house, has been for 10 years nonstop. So I appreciate the fact now we can switch over to Zombieland 2 for the next 10 years and have some fresh material. It's funnier than it needs to be. The fact that they got all 4 of them back is pretty amazing considering what's happened in the last 10 years with all of them. And man, that's just a fun ass movie.
It's amazing they got the whole cast back.
Yeah. And they all still look the same, just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson, that dude does not age.
It's all that weed. He's made of hemp.
All right, my number 9 is a movie I didn't put on the list initially because I don't think it's a horror movie, but because it's a sequel, I decided Happy Death Day 2 was a movie I freaking loved watching, so I had to put it on the list, even though I think it's a comedy and a sci-fi film. Almost no horror in it, but
yeah,
I loved it, and I want to actually revisit both of them back to back just to see what a double feature of it is like. But if you like the first one, if you thought it was funny, then you're probably going to like this one. Just don't expect the kills and the slasher elements to be as strong.
Yeah, I didn't put it on my list. I really liked it, but I didn't put it on my list because to me there was just no horror. There's more horror and I don't know, Live with Kathy Lee and Regis reruns.
Yeah, to be honest, had there been more horror, this would have been significantly higher up my list because I thought the comedy worked so well. It's just there was
great performance.
Dogs liked it.
Lead girl. Great performance by the lead girl too.
Ruff, ruff. All right, Jack. Okay. What's your number 9? Number 9.
This one's going to piss off Hunter. One Cut of the Dead is my number 9.
You know what? When you put that shit on, you completely negate your list. So you can sign off now.
Why would you say that? It's such a clever movie.
Oh, please. Again, not a horror movie.
The man does not appreciate good writing when he's
Jesus Christ. The acting was so irritating in that movie. It was like nails on a chalkboard.
So you've soured on this since we saw it.
Yes, and hasn't gotten better when I try to think back to it.
Well, I enjoyed it. I thought they came out of left field, and you don't know what the hell's going on, and then there's a huge payoff in the end. So this makes the list. I had a blast with this, and it's something different from a zombie movie, which is something we're always dying for. So One Cut of the Dead makes the cut.
All right.
It's very nice.
All right. So what are we at? Number 8?
Number 8.
Number 8 is Harpoon.
Ooh.
Which one of you guys told me to see this?
I did.
Yeah, this was a nice independent horror movie with no budget whatsoever, and actually took the time to write it well and get 3 pretty good unknown actors in it. I love movies where people are stranded and turn on each other. I mean, who doesn't?
Mm.
I mean, I was always hoping for Gilligan. He would like eviscerate the skipper and, have sex with Ginger. But no, I never got it. Whatever. Live with that. So I get Harpoon instead. Again, it's funny. It's 3 movies in a row that I thought were funny. This is maybe less funny than the other 2, a little more serious with what was going on, especially in the last act. Had a great ending. To me, you got me if you can stick the landing on the ending. And I thought the final scene was just perfect. So awesome movie.
Yeah, another movie that came out of the blue and was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought about putting it on the bottom of my list, and then it was one of those that up and down. All right, so my number 8 was The Perfection, which is a movie
really
we covered pretty early
that
in the
came
year, right?
on
Maybe
and off
April?
my list several times, and I'll give it an honorable mention because I really like that movie.
I prefer the game.
This was just... This is one of those that stuck with me afterwards. The ending just really hit me, and there was some dark stuff in it, and it felt like a long, higher budgeted version of a Tales from the Crypt episode. And that kind of tone, I just freaking love that with movies. So I was completely in, and I loved it.
Great performances by Allison Williams and the other girl too. So good. So like I said, I struggled not putting this on my list because for a Netflix movie, that was such a jackpot.
Absolutely. And Steven Weber wang. I mean,
That's why. Now we know. It's funny if we did
I keep dreaming about it.
If we did a bottom 10 list, this would be on my bottom 10 for the year.
The Perfection.
Yeah, I don't know. It was so artsy fartsy. It was so heavy on the fartsy. I didn't like it. It didn't grab me.
Too many goddamn IPAs.
Probably. Definitely could have been.
Well, my number 8 happens to be Harpoon. How about that?
We agree. Yay.
We agree. I really like this movie a lot. I suggested it to you, and I had a blast with it. And I thought the narrator and the humor really helped the movie. But there's the third act takes that kind of dark turn that's so great. And yeah, the ending of that movie is awesome. So this is one of those movies that I can't wait to recommend to people. I'm like, oh my God, you got to see Harpoon. And it should be on more people's top 10 lists. This is a great movie.
I recommend this movie to people all the time. They're like, just go, oh, you like horror. What's a good horror movie? I'm like, you know what? Go check out Harpoon. Because I think it's the kind of movie a lot of different people can get into. And they all come back and thank me. So we're spreading the love.
Exactly. All right. What do you got for number 7?
Number 7 for me is Crawl.
Oh, there you go.
Because I went to a matinee. I was the only person there. But I was very happy to be there. Yeah, I thought the special effects were pretty cool. The only thing I wish in that movie, there were more kills.
Yes.
But whatever. In my review, I said Crawl is a throwback flick that's only missing Ray Milland or Doug McClure. or Richard Jekyll.
Christopher George.
Christopher George. There we go.
Maybe John Saxon.
But dude, it's Alexandre Aja, and that's the reason why that's the thing. It was in a movie theater, which just blew me away that this got through. So I was like, I got to support this, and I'm ready for part 2. I want me some more gators.
Crawlier.
Hold your breath on that sequel.
I know it's not coming.
All right, my number 7 was Tigers Are Not Afraid,
Right.
which I want to say was a Shudder exclusive.
Yes.
Yep.
Mexican film about kids living in absolute poverty and running from drug dealers and encountering the supernatural. This was another one that stuck with me afterwards. The imagery and the freaking kid actors in this were so good. It just completely blew me away. Kid actors typically pull me out of movies because they're crap. But, man, I think the youngest kid, I mean, he couldn't have been more than a couple years old, and he was so good. It was weird. So I don't know how the woman who directed it, her name is escaping me because misogyny, but she was so good. I cannot wait to see the next movie she directs, which I think she's doing something with Del Toro.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
if I'm
is.
remembering correctly.
What-
That's going to be a sight to
I'm
behold.
excited
So
for that.
Tigers Are Not Afraid, still on Shudder, a must watch.
Good call.
I agree.
All right. So this is number 7.
Yes.
This one was recommended to me by Hunter Shea. Little thing called Villains.
I made the top 10.
didn't see this.
I'm so glad.
Now, this movie and Harpoon are like a tie. I liked both of them equally. I put Villains a little bit above it on this list because the cast is so good in Villains.
Cast is amazing.
It's a funny movie. It's tense, and it does not go where you think it's going to go. And what's that guy's name? Bill Skarsgård?
Skarsgård, yep.
It Chapter 2 is not the best horror movie this guy's been in. This is.
Yes.
And the girl from
Micah
It
Monroe.
Follows.
Yeah.
So good. So good. And the guy from Burn Notice and Kira Sedgwick,
Kira Sedgwick.
who is bonkers in this movie.
Yeah.
And Burn
Both
Notice,
of them are just.
Where did you see
I saw this over the break.
Okay, is it on Prime?
I
or
think
Netflix
on
or something?
Prime. I paid money
But
to
you
see
got-
I'm
this.
gonna watch it.
Yeah, you got to pay for it right now. I'm waiting for the Blu-ray so I can buy it.
Yeah, listen, if I didn't do a horror podcast, I wouldn't have seen half these movies because I would have been waiting. One of them that I saw is probably going to be on Shudder in another couple of weeks. So anyway, Villains, can't recommend it enough. Great flick, a lot of fun. You know, it's not the most horror of horror movies, but it's definitely for the horror crowd.
There's enough.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Yeah.
All right, where are we on? Number 6?
6.
Number 6, I'm going to say, is the best movie on my list. So in terms of movie making and acting and directing and screenplay, it's got everything. It's
The best movie on your list is the number
yes,
6 movie on your list?
Because I'm acknowledging
Makes
for the
sense.
general public, it's the best movie. It's maybe horror even adjacent, but there's things that happen in it that are the darkest horror I've ever seen. The Nightingale. Which, by the way, that's not the same the other one you mentioned before, that's not the same director. Yeah.
The
it's
Wind?
a different woman. Look,
See? Man, I just...
Because this is the one that the Babadook woman did.
yeah, this is set in
Okay.
1825 Tasmania, and it's a woman who is after these British soldiers who basically murdered her family in front of her. It's unreal. She takes on an Aboriginal a guide to help her find them, and this is during there's all this race stuff going on, and it's a white girl in the middle of nowhere, and a black guy trying to get her there, and it's astounding. It is fucking astounding to watch. There's just so many layers in it that's going on, and it's heartbreaking. And it's so weird because when it's done, your heart is broken and lifted at the same time. I don't know how she did it. It's phenomenal.
I've been wanting to watch it. It's just I've been warned about it, and I don't think I've been in the right headspace to sit down and slog through what
Every
it is.
review
Yeah.
of that movie starts with a disclaimer. The person's like, "Oh, it's so good, but you got to be ready for it. It's brutal. It's this and that." I
Yeah.
bet you a lot of people are dissuaded from seeing it.
If you're ready for a happy peppy movie, this ain't it.
Not a good date movie.
Well, I don't know. For us,
It's one I wish I'd seen because I had a feeling it would probably get on my list. Just in
I mean, it's very easy to say it's a period piece drama and just leave it at that. So I'm sure that's why it might not be on a lot of horror lists. But like I said, there are things that happen in this that will not happen in any horror movie you'll ever see that are worse than anything you'll see in anything.
Damn.
So
Cool.
Yeah, you're not making me want to watch it.
no, trust me, you're going to want to watch it. You're going to If you have this, if you want like a Artie in fabric or this, you're gonna take the Nightingale.
All right. Well, I'll get a
There
six-pack
you
of
go.
beer and
You'll
maybe
be
watch
fine.
it this weekend. Speaking of six, my number six was Brightburn.
I watched that again last
A movie
night.
that
Shit, I forgot.
Oh,
that
really?
This came out this year. God damn it. Whatever. List is done.
these lists are very accurate. This is a movie that was way more intense than I expected. The freaking gore scenes and the kill scenes in this just blew me away. I thought, okay, it's rated R. He's going to do some bad things, but nothing like I expected. There is a jaw scene in this that's one of the hardest things we've seen all year.
Yeah.
This to me was just such a great concept of what would happen when Superman hits puberty and he turns into a freaking asshole.
Exactly.
Here you go. And just the parent struggle is what made it very real for me, because it's, what are you going to do? You're going to yell at him? Okay, how long's that going to last? So it just, I thought this was phenomenal, and I wish it had made more money in the box office, because if we could have got a whole series based around what happens with this kid and other superheroes, it would have just been so different and such a contrast to what we're seeing from the Marvel movies that, I don't know. It's one of those, if it had just made more money, I think a lot of people would have liked it if they'd heard about it more. Or
I
don't
agree.
know, maybe two people will watch it from this.
Great,
But
great movie. I really liked it a lot. Watch Brightburn and then watch The Boys on Amazon,
Yeah.
and it
good back to back.
it ups the ante and
Yep.
takes it to the next level. I struggled with, I had Brightburn on the list and I took it off, and yet I watched it last night and had a blast with it. So I got it, easily could be on my list.
You could sum that movie up with one word: jaw.
God.
Okay, my number six, one of the ones I saw over the break. It's called Bliss. This is a grimy, trippy, low budget, intense movie. It's about a girl who's an artist in LA, and she's under a deadline to get some projects done for like a show, and she's way behind. And she gets she takes drugs, and her dealer gets her some weird drugs or something. I forget what the mix is. And she's at a party and she's tripping and she's hooking up with people and stuff. And a side effect from the drug is she starts to crave blood. So there's a vampiric
Naturally.
thing. There's a vampiric thing going on with this. And this movie came out of left field. I saw a couple of people out there mention it, checked it out. It is a micro budget. I had a blast with this movie. It's got gore. It's got a sense of humor, and it's got George Wendt from Cheers briefly in it.
Norm.
Really?
Norm. So this came out of nowhere, and I had a blast with it. The lead girl, who's in almost every scene, is awesome. She crushes it, and she runs the gamut of emotions from manic to just everything. It's great. I had a blast with this movie, and the vampiric element helped. Really well done.
definitely
You checked it. This is the one that's going to be on Shudder in another couple of weeks, so you can check it out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
So
What was the
Bliss.
name of it again? Bliss. Damn it. Missed so many
but
more.
listen, it's going to be
I
on
hadn't
Shudder.
heard of that one, so I got to watch that.
I liked it.
Neither.
Who knows what you guys will think, but I had a blast with it.
I like the
All
way it
right.
sounds.
Cool.
All right, we're in our top 5 now. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about a lot of the same movies,
Yep.
but we'll find out.
Yeah.
My number 5, we're back to the cult, the land of cult's personality. Midsummer.
Samar.
Samar.
We're cultured here. It's
My
somehow-
Summer?
Samar.
Midsommar.
By Sharona. This is Ari Aster's second movie after Hereditary. Luckily, no little girls' heads were chopped off in the making of this movie. This is, first of all, this is the year of long freaking horror movies. And this one maybe tops the list. The director's cut's over 3 hours long. But I thought it's goddamn, it's gorgeous to look at. He has definitely gone to the Kubrick school of lining up a shot and tracking a shot. I mean, it's you could watch his movies with the sound off and just love them as much as with the sound on. Who's the main girl?
Yep.
Sarah Pugh?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. Thank you. I thought she was great. There's parts of the movie like this where like 2 hours and something, and I'm going, what the hell is up with her? But there's a reason for like that performance, and I just oh man,
It's the most dour performance.
oh my
ever.
god, you're like, oh wow, that girl just sucks on lemons all day long. But there were some tense ass moments in this, and like because you're thinking, what if I was there? What am I going to do at this moment? Especially when we're marching a person to a cliff there's a dude walking around with a mallet, a giant cartoon mallet.
Oh, as soon as I see that mallet, I'm like, no. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm out.
They showed that.
There's no reason to ever have a mallet.
I love the first time that mallet appears. It's just kind of like in the periphery. Like Oscar doesn't linger on it. Just like, what? Did I just see a mallet? Such a good movie.
Yeah.
Nice call.
Yeah.
How about you, Jason?
Absolutely.
Number 5?
My number 5 was Suspiria.
Ow.
Which I believe technically came out last year, but it was such a small release that I literally could not see it until this year. So I went back to my list and I actually watched it in January. And this is another one that I watched it and I really liked it, and I sat that night and I sat the next week and we talked about it. I was like, God damn, I really like that movie. If not for the ending pissing me off with the way it was shot, this might be even higher up the list. It's gory, it's intense, it's long, but it never felt overly long to me. And everything about it worked. The dancing, I couldn't give a shit about that, but totally
intense
worked.
dancing.
And as far as remakes, it was, yeah. As far as remakes of classic films, it's not one of my favorites, but a lot of people absolutely love it. I thought this was incredibly well done. And I don't know that a lot of people gave it a chance because it was a remake of Suspiria. But if you haven't seen it, it is definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
I'm
agree.
surprised.
I liked it.
I'm surprised it made it this high on your list because of how down you were on the ending of that movie.
Oh,
It still pisses me off when I think about the way it
I
looks.
swear to God, you think the ending was shot by someone else entirely different.
It was the coolest idea for an ending ever, and I couldn't see it.
It's true.
All right. Well, my number 5 is a little movie called Midsummer.
Again,
And you believe it?
twinsies. We've agreed on 2 so far.
I also was hesitant about this movie because of the length, but was it Ari Aster? Is that how you say it?
Yep.
I love Hereditary so much that I was in for this, and I did not feel the length of this movie while watching it. I still don't really want to sit through the 3-hour version, but what a bunch of... It's such an uncomfortable movie. It's stark daylight most of the time.
Yeah.
The dynamics between the girl, her jerk boyfriend, and his jerk friends is great. And it just puts you in this uncomfortable situation where you're somebody's guest in another country and you're just sort of going along with things because you don't know any better and you don't want to offend anybody. And you're just kind of trusting people. And before you know it, you're in... They were in too deep before they knew it. You knew it before they did. And the further the movie gets in, it gets trippy. Weird stuff is going on in the background. Bizarre stuff that you've never seen on film before happens.
Great
And-
sex.
Yeah. And this movie came out early in the year. When it came out, it was the best horror movie of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Then a bunch of other stuff came out that passed it, but great flick. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah. And
Hell yeah.
Oster must be working out some like grief stuff because these 2 movies that he's done, it's all about loss and grief.
Yeah.
This is
This is like the most bizarre breakup movie I've ever seen in my life.
I hope he doesn't cure himself mentally because I don't want him to see him come back and do like Inspector Gadget or something. I feel so much
Dude.
better now.
The trailer for Hereditary turned me off. I had no desire to see that movie. I thought it was going to be garbage. And it's one of my favorite horror movies of the past couple of years. Oh my God. So
I would not want to be either one of his exes or someone in his family. I'd be concerned if he's making these movies about
Oh
him.
God, Jesus! I didn't touch him.
They're dark.
Number 4, Jason brought this up. This is the most emotional movie I've seen in years. Tigers Are Not Afraid. These kids, I don't know where they found these kids. They looked straight up like street rats, but their acting chops are pretty stunning. I cried in this movie. This movie made me effing cry.
I thought this was going to be your favorite movie of the year.
Dude, I did too. I really did. But there are others that just look. I don't want to keep revisiting a movie that's going to make me cry every time. So,
Yeah.
Not my thing. But I appreciate the storytelling in this movie and everything about it. The little teddy bear running around. Thank God for him. He gave me some relief.
Yeah.
It's one of the most emotional movies I've seen in a long time. So I can't wait to see what else she does.
Freaking kids, man.
Yeah.
The kid actors in it just
Yeah.
works. It's
So
amazing.
good.
All right, my number 4 is Midsommar.
We're so close.
Another one that, I left the theater and I kept thinking, man, they were showing all this stuff at the beginning and the murals. I want to go back and decode it. And the only reason I haven't is because it's so freaking long that it's one I want to show everybody and I want to try and figure out what the hell's going on with it. And I have not revisited it yet. Hereditary I revisited, I think, once, and I haven't done that just because that movie's so freaking intense.
Yeah.
I need long breaks from it. But this dude is killing it on another level. And if he hits a third movie as good as these two, he's going to be jumping into the modern master discussions very quickly. I mean, this guy has a voice like no one else in the business right now. And he's putting out weird, intense, great movies. And please keep giving him money.
And
Yeah.
I don't want to knock Jordan Peele, but he is getting such hype. They're already like grouping him in with Alfred Hitchcock after 2 movies. Meanwhile, it's guys like Astor that you're like, this is the guy to watch. This guy has made some really intense creatives.
Absolutely. I was on the Jordan Peele train. I still am to a certain extent, but I've moved back a few cars after Us.
Yeah.
So, all the modern masterpiece talk of Us has me kind of scratching my head here. For the
There are a couple of
end of the
others
year
doing
podcast.
way better work more consistently.
Yeah.
And this
I
guy's
don't mind
one
him
of
being mentioned in the up and coming and movers and shakers in the industry. But when you're talking about this Astor's made like 2 practical masterpieces here. Like these are
Yeah.
going to be staples.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So it's my turn. Number 4.
Yeah.
Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Oh God, Jack.
I can't believe that
this
you
is-
picked that we got 2 in a row.
I feel like we should make love.
We should. Well,
Yeah, it's getting a little gay.
I'll just bring up one.
Do you need me to leave?
Wait till you see In Fabric. You won't want to talk to me anymore.
This marriage is over.
Because really, you just watch Brightburn. Tigers Not Afraid is so good, and this is one that it's so different than anything you've ever seen. It's like these little kids in the backdrop of the Mexican drug war with this supernatural element, and then this fantasy layer on top of that. And the kid performances are just so spectacular. The imagery, the settings that they're in. What a great movie. I mean, I'd heard good things about it, but went in like, okay, what is this going to be? And by the end, it's just like, what a tremendous movie this was. So good. But you're right. Like, how many times do I want to revisit it? I don't know.
Yeah, I need a good cry. Clear up my tear ducts.
Good stuff.
All right.
Yep.
Top
Number
3.
three.
Let's go.
This is big time. Number 3 for me is Villains. Well, like I said, first of all, Micah Monroe, she owns a piece of me thanks to It Follows. So I'll watch anything she's in, even that weird sci-fi movie I saw on Netflix with her. But the 4 performances in this, it's probably the best performances of the year for me, just cast-wise. They were just over the top and just phenomenal. So, like I said, I got to own this on Blu-ray when it comes out. This is one I'll watch multiple times a year.
Wow.
Man, I gotta watch this. Damn it.
I just want Michael Monroe to like hover over me and do like the car wash thing with her hair.
Yes.
Staring
I want the
into
car
my
wash.
eyes.
I want the
Yeah.
car wash bad. I didn't like the movie as much as you did, but I do crave the car wash.
You want the car wash, definitely.
You guys are such purrs.
No, it's not. It's not a dirty thing. You have to see it.
Sure.
All right.
When did that come out?
I saw it in the theater in the summer. It was only in the theater for like 3 days.
I heard about it,
Okay.
and I just couldn't get it. It was in the theater for a day, and then I kept waiting for VOD, and it wasn't. That's what I'm talking about. Then all of a sudden, like the week between Christmas and New Year's, there it is.
Yeah, that's what happened with Suspiria with me last year. So, alrighty, my number 3 is Ready or Not. I had so much fun with this movie. It's one of those that I'm watching. I'm like, this is great. When are they going to screw it up? When are they going to screw it up? Oh, okay. Here's the part where they do that. Oh, they didn't do it. Holy crap! And then the ending. I just walked out of there like, God. You know, it was like 4th and goal, and instead of freaking just going for a field goal, they went for the win, and it totally freaking worked. You like that? They like that
The
sports ball?
opposite of
good.
going to a Steelers game. Dodgers.
Shut up. Man, I cannot wait to show this to more people because it's one that definitely flew under the radar for a lot of people. I mentioned it to them like, what? I'm like, oh, you got to see this. And this was absolutely, what's the main actress's name?
Samara Weaving.
Samara
Drink.
Weaving.
Yes. What about, or what a coming out party for her. If she doesn't get big roles after that, then people in Hollywood have no idea
She's
what they're
gonna-
doing. Because
She's going to be in the new Bill and Ted movie. And
There
I
you go.
believe, like,
All right.
the next G.I. Joe movie, she's going to be, like, Scarlet or something like that, or the Cobra chick. I don't know. She's in the... So, yes, she's going to the next level.
That movie
Good,
cost
'cause she
that movie
deserved
cost $6 million and made 57.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
they did
excellent.
all right.
All right. Good. And the director's radio silence, I think, is what they go by.
Yeah.
They've had there definitely their ups and downs in the industry for a while, but they had that VHS segment where the guys are dressed up in costumes and go to the house that's empty and find crazy shit in it.
Ah.
That was kind of their coming out party, and they've finally peaked again here with Ready or Not.
Yeah.
So give those dudes more cash.
I agree.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Concur. What about you, Jack?
My number 3 is probably the best movie on my list. It may be one of the best movies I've seen all year, but it's not my number 1 movie on my list. Does this sound familiar? It's The Nightingale.
Oh, it does sound familiar.
Let me tell you something. This was one of the last movies I saw. And Jason, just like you, every review I heard, it just seemed like it was so dark and brutal. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I watched the trailer and I'm like, is this really a horror movie?
Right.
I watched it. The freaking Golden Globes the other night. This should have been mentioned. This should be in the talk for Academy Awards. This is such a damn good movie. And it has a ton of brutal violence in it, but is not gratuitous at all. It's colonial, colonial times, the English army oppressing, there's Irish prisoners and whatever, and the Aborigines getting at war with them. The racism that's going on, the lead girl is so good in this movie. Actually, everybody's so good. The villain in this movie is one of the most despicable people. He's like think Joffrey from Game of Thrones. But,
yeah, you wish the worst kind of ball cyst for that guy.
Yeah, the guy who plays Dewey Cox from Dewey Cox from Justified. And Charles Manson, he's in it, and he's awesome. The guy who plays the Aborigine guy is great. Listen, there's some really grim stuff that happens in this movie, and that's what everybody's talking about. But it makes the impact there. But then, Hunter, you said it. The ending of this movie is uplifting.
It's weird, right? Like, how did they do that?
It's one of the best revenge movies you'll ever see because nothing ever goes to plan.
Right. And it's not always what you think it's going to be.
So I'm telling you, yeah, it's kind of horror adjacent, but there's so many horrific things that happen in it that I don't want to call it a horror movie because I want mainstream people to see it. But horror people should see this movie because it's so damn good. And it came out of the blue. Jason, you should see this movie as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Damn it. Now I really wish I'd seen it so I could have it on my
It's
face.
way better than Suspiria.
You got to see The Lighthouse, so we didn't get to see that. So
I
we
saw
all
The
miss out on
Lighthouse.
things. Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Oh, well, now we know what's number one on Jack's list.
So my number 2 was my number 1 when I saw it. I said, that's it. Number 1. No one's going to beat this. Drop the mic. And somebody beat it. But it's Ready or Not. The most fun I had at the movies all of 2019. I was the same way, Jason. I kept going, oh, when is this going to just shit the bed? When is it? But never did. Samara Weaving is phenomenal. It's screamingly funny. This year, this probably has to be one of the strongest years I've seen for horror comedies in a long time.
For sure.
A long time. And yeah, this movie could have been 4 hours long, and I would have been thrilled the entire time. So, in a year of long movies, this was a short one, but just great. Another one I have to own. This will make the Horror-tober viewing list every year.
Good call.
Yeah, just us talking about it has me wanting to watch it again this weekend. I might have to to make that happen. It's just so much fun. Okay, my number 2 is gonna piss somebody off. It is One Cut of
I am
the
not
Dead.
shocked. I'm just the only thing I'm not shocked by is that it's not number 1.
Well, there's a reason. But the writing of this movie was so good when I've watched it. I've watched this multiple times now. That I was like, there's no way anybody's going to write a better movie than this all year until my number 1 came out. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. But the way they structured the plot of this movie works so well if you know nothing about it, unless your name is Hunter, that just don't look anything up about the movie. Go watch it. Get through the first half an hour without shutting it off. You'll thank me, but don't know anything about it. It's, and it, like you were talking about the Nightingale, at the end of this movie, I feel so good after watching it each time that I'm just like, this might end up being like my sick movie. Like every time I get sick, I watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Maybe I'll throw in One Cut of the Dead.
Let my Cameron go.
So if you haven't seen it, get past the subtitles. It's on, what is it, Shudder, I believe. Absolutely track this sucker down. It was made for $30,000, which is mind-boggling.
I don't know where the money went. Not to buy get actors.
Hater.
Yes, I am. I will say I'm a hater of that movie.
All right. My number 2 movie could have been my number 1 movie, and it may still be, but my number 1 movie, I have reasons for it. But it's the most fun I had in the movies. Is this sounding familiar? Because my number 2 movie is Ready or Not.
Jack, this is ridiculous.
Hunter, when you're saying it, I'm like, son of a bitch. You're not only have you picked the same movie, but you're like, if I had scripted what I was going to say, I was like, come on. I
can't quit you.
I struggled not making this. I wish I could quit you. I struggled not making this my number 1 because it is by far the most fun I had watching a movie. And yes, Samara Weaving is a star. What's his name? Adam Brody's great in this movie. It could have just become You're Next, and it didn't. It was so good. What a blast. Yeah. So we've talked about it enough already, but yes, I don't buy a ton of movies. I'll probably get this one on Blu-ray.
Literally just before you started speaking, I ordered it on Amazon just now.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, it's on Blu-ray. Let me get it. All right, we're down to number 1.
We're down to number 1.
God, are we all going to be the same?
I think we all
It's
might
a
have
clean
the same
sweep,
number.
obviously,
We all may have
except
the
for
same
me.
movie.
You're not going to know mine. There's no way.
All right. Mine is Dr. Sleep.
Of course.
All right. Let me tell you. This movie is stunning. This is a fucking horror masterpiece. How Flanagan manages to make a sequel of an amazing movie that satisfies the movie lovers and the book lovers and takes all the best elements of the book and just puts it together with just one of the baddest villains of the year. I mean, this was just.
Yes, sir.
I just watched the last half hour of this. I know my mouth was open. Because my jaw hurt so much, and I was like, "Oh God, my mouth is open like a slack-jawed yokel." That's why my jaw is like hurting like this. It has to be seen to be believed. I mean, if you love The Shining, you have to love this. And
horrible marketing. It's a shame. Everybody saw It Chapter 2. They saw Pet Sematary, and that's the one everybody talks about. Those two, and nobody knew that Dr. Sleep was out. If I mentioned it to people, nobody knew that there was a sequel to The Shining. It came out after Halloween, and meanwhile, this is the one that everybody should see.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best King movie probably since The Shining.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to it that they did to Overlord last year. They released it the week after Halloween, and it completely tanks at the box office, and nobody can figure out in Hollywood why this keeps happening.
And there was a lot of critics that scared people off in this movie too, which I don't know what the hell they were seeing.
Only 3 critics worth listening to.
Everyone's different. That's right. And sometimes it's only one of us.
That's right. It's definitely not you.
But yeah, this is number one with the bullet, baby, by far.
All right. My number 1 is Bad Ben, the Haunted Highway. I have not laughed at something. Obviously, it's Dr. Sleep. I ranted and raved about the writing in One Cut of the Dead all year. And I'm like, there's no way something is going to be written better than this. And then I watched Dr. Sleep. I'm like, the son of a bitch did it. How, in God's name, he made everyone happy. Stephen King is happy with a sequel to The freaking Shining. Figure that shit out.
Yeah, that shows all the elements from The Shining movie. That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't say this lightly. It is probably a modern masterpiece, specifically in the genre.
Yeah.
The guy is absolutely at the top tier now. How many freaking good movies have we gotten from Flanagan and shows? I mean, the guy hit the ball out of the park so far on this, it hasn't freaking landed yet.
Yeah.
And the only shame is no one even knew what was happening. And I don't know why I keep doing sports ball references.
And he's coming off Haunting of Hill House. So the guy, we talk about Ari Aster.
Sports ball?
Sports ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Myself.
He's crushing them.
You put Flanagan,
the guy's on another level.
Flanagan in with Ari Aster as far as that, like the top guys in the industry right now.
The level of art that they're bringing to the movies that they make, and a genre that's such a throwaway genre for most people, is just you're living in good times, people. It doesn't happen.
I think Flanagan is at the point now. He's had so many good horror movies that people are going to look back on him. He's getting to that John Carpenter level where he had a bunch of bombs that people did not appreciate at the time, and then 10 years later, people rediscover them and they cannot believe that they weren't huge hits.
What's harder to do, what he did with Dr. Sleep, or made a movie of Gerald's Game, which nobody wanted to touch?
Great point.
I mean,
2 impossible tasks, and he freaking pulled them both off.
And then also says, "Oh, you like The Legend of Hill House? I'm gonna redo this too, and you're gonna freaking love it."
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's amazing, and shout out to Rebecca Ferguson, the villain.
Oh,
God,
jeez,
damn! Oh, that was one scary woman.
What?
She just was amazing.
What gets done to that child?
Yeah.
Which sends people out of theaters, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's being done by a stunning woman, which just makes it all the more weird and hard to process.
Yeah.
It's just, wow.
All right, Jack, what's yours?
Mine also happens to be Dr. Sleep.
So, Jack, is that 5 movies that we agree on with the placement? I think it is.
I cannot wait to log out of this call so you guys can just do whatever you're going to do.
Here's the thing. Why did Dr. Sleep get at the top of this list is precisely what you said. How the hell did he pull off a movie that Stephen King was cool with that had anything to do with the movie?
Yeah,
and I know that the studio people were like, look, if you're going to make a sequel to The Shining, you're having the movie imagery and stuff in it because we want to sell tickets to this thing. Of course, they didn't sell that many tickets to it. However, this guy had such a love for The Shining, and you can see it. Now, there's a 3-hour cut of this that's going to come out on Blu-ray.
I'll
And
see that.
it's the complete opposite of Midsummer for me. I can't wait to see the longer cut of this, and I hope all of it's in the Overlook.
In the Overlook? Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Give me more Overlook.
Yep. But part of the reason I like this movie, though, was I was never getting antsy. I was like, what the hell is the story going to be? And I was entertained by the movie before they ever got to any of that stuff. It didn't feel like filler. There was a lot of good stuff. Great performances, great villain. Listen, they're doing another remake of Salem's Lot. I don't know who's making it. It might be like the Pet Sematary guy. I wish Flanagan was the guy doing it because he clearly knows how to do the Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, and like I said, it's not like the Shining movie. The tone is so different. The aesthetic is so different. Yet it's spiritually connected to it. Like it tips its cap and
it shines.
Some of the recasting that they did could have been blasphemy, and the fact that I didn't walk out going that this is BS. You can't. I thought he handled that wonderfully, and if they didn't have those scenes, you would have been like, they really should have had that. So, tip of the cap to Dr. Sleep. Good flick. I can't wait to.
Scatman Carruthers is alive.
Yes, well, that guy was awesome.
He never died.
There were 2 movies I watched this year that I sat during huge segments of it completely slack-jawed and not being able to comprehend what I'm watching. One was Dr. Sleep, and the other was Tammy and the T-Rex. So that is in great company.
It sure is. Tammy and the T-Rex. Poor Jason.
Well, that was 2019, guys.
Yeah. You know what? We bitched and moaned all year long, and this is a pretty solid list.
There's some other movies that I saw that didn't make my list, but I'm going to mention them in the next few shows that we do because I banked. Yay! Now I don't have to crush watching movies. I've banked a few, and there's a few that like once we go off the air, I'm going to propose that we use as movies of the week because they're relatively new and and worth talking about that didn't even make the list. So yeah,
cool. Right
at the end, some decent stuff came out, but nothing that like I think in our top 5 to 8 are like those. Yeah, that's a great movie, and then there was a lot of other stuff. I was like, well, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it, but.
Yep.
So we're going to see Underwater, right? That's going to be the first movie of the year? The Kristen Stewart movie? No?
I'll meet you there.
I'll be there. I'm going.
You've got your freaking hall pass. So.
Even if it's not in the pass, I'll have to go to another theater. I'm going to go see that.
When does that come out?
It's like Aliens Underwater. Everything comes out on the 10th. And Like a Boss.
Oh, really?
The Salma Hayek movie. I'll be there for that, too.
I did want to ask quick, because I know we're going to get asked by somebody. Jack, you didn't put The Lighthouse on your list.
Okay. I was going to propose that maybe we do an episode on The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a great movie. It is artistically stunning. It's visually amazing. The performances are great. There's some really funny stuff. It's trippy as all hell. And it was on my list for a while but it was at the bottom of my list because I saw it once and I don't ever need to watch it again. I love The Witch, and I thought this was a good follow-up to it, but I don't love it like I love The Witch because it's less horror, even though it's got some real horror things going on in it. So there's no doubt it's a good movie, but it's a weird movie. Some people clearly it's like their favorite movie of the year. I really liked it a lot, but I'm not like dying to go back and watch it again. I saw it and great job all around. So no problem.
I feel better. I was upset that I didn't get to see it to the list, but now, Jack, since you and I are so simpatico, if you don't have it on list, I wasn't going to have it on mine. So I feel good now.
Did you see it?
No, I never got a chance.
I saw it yesterday, actually. You're right. It's an incredibly well-made movie. I mean, the detail, everything is period specific. Just like The Witch, the dialect is period specific, so I can't understand a goddamn thing they're saying half the movie.
Damn mumbling white people.
I had to watch the explainer video afterwards to make sure I got everything.
Jesus.
Yeah, the end, I was like, what? But I got to tell you, it just didn't hit me the way The Witch did. it did not hold my interest, and that was kind of the kiss of death word for me. It's maybe my most anticipated movie of the year. Honestly, I was dying to see this in Midsummer, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I can see it, and I appreciate what he did, and particularly at the beginning of the movie, every shot looks like a painting, like a black and white painting. The guy he's an artist.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, the story absolutely didn't click with me.
And that's where, when I put Us on my list, I was like, I had way more fun watching Us, and I will watch Us again. And there's humor to it. That there was one of those movies that I can't deny the quality of it, but am I dying to go back and watch it again? No, but I'm really happy I watched it once.
I'm with you.
I want to see it, but I honestly, I was like, shit, I missed something.
Robert Pattinson will impress you, because if you just know him from Twilight, like I know he's going to be the new Batman. I have more faith in him being Batman now, seeing this, because he's tremendous in it. And Willem Dafoe is, oh my God.
Well, he's Willem Dafoe.
I know it's always been a goal of yours to see Robert Pattinson jerking off to a mermaid statue,
yes.
and you will get your wish.
You know what? Bucket list time,
Finally.
baby. Maybe I can do it at the same time as him.
Yeah, you're going to fire the movie up as soon as this is over.
Get my mermaid statue. Can you watch it? Is it on? Can you buy it streaming?
You can.
Yeah.
You have to like buy it right now.
Yeah,
So
it came out.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
I think right before Christmas.
All right, forget it. I'll wait.
yeah, wait.
All right, so we don't know what we're doing next week, right?
Let's talk after this, and we'll figure out, because there's a couple of
boss.
possibilities for things. So we'll announce on social media later. But everybody, if you have your top 10 list, you want to put it in our comments, or your top 5 or whatever, or go to our Facebook group, or go hit us up on Twitter. If you disagree with us, I'm sure you'll already be telling us what we missed. But we'd love to hear what you guys thought of, and maybe some movies that we didn't mention that you liked as well. So go ahead and you do all the stuff that helps our show. You know the drill. But yeah, now next week, back to the grind. We'll pick a movie and we'll get going.
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
All right, everybody. See you next week. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Game over.